The award-winning Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org. I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
I'm John DeSando.
This is Cinema Classics.
It sure is. And you know, talk about classics.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
You put me on to 10 films that have turned 25 years old.
Yeah.
I thought we ought to check those out.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, what are we going to do? Like, you tell me if they... you'll tell me the title, I'll tell you if they hold up or not.
And
or if they ever did.
Let me read the 10, okay?
Are you going to read them all at once?
Yeah.
Okay.
Groundhog Day, Falling Down, Jurassic Park, Sleepless in Seattle, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Fugitive, True Romance, Indecent Proposal, Schindler's List, and Philadelphia.
Okay, most of those are terrible.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh,
I
yeah?
think that's a pretty good list.
All right.
Give me your best on that. Your best shot.
Can I look at it?
Sure.
The best. Well...
For you, the one that you like the best.
I mean...
I know.
Schindler's List is the best film.
Right.
Jurassic Park is the most fun.
Correct.
And True Romance is the coolest.
It is.
Now, I will say this. Groundhog Day was not a great success when it came out 25 years ago, but has since found a passionate cult audience, and including at the Gateway Film Center, year in and year out, they do that Groundhog Day marathon where a couple of hundred people watch the film back to back to back to back for a straight 24
All right.
hours.
Bill Murray is repeating his day.
Yeah.
All right. Ad nauseum.
Everybody knows this.
Yeah, right.
one.
Okay.
Do you like that film?
I find
can you
it.
even remember it?
I find it amusing. I find it a little bit annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that repeats annoys me.
Let me ask you, did you see that movie? Have you seen it since its 25th anniversary? Like, did you seen it since it came out?
I don't think so.
Yeah, see, you don't even remember it.
I don't.
Okay.
I remember I think the premise of the film is so good that people keep coming back to it. No, let me ask you this: Why?
Why?
Why so popular?
I don't know. I think it struck a nerve at that particular moment, and no, actually, I don't think it struck a nerve at that moment. I think over the years, Bill Murray's career has been reassessed various times. Now he's, a sort of legend, and I think the film probably found newer audiences on cable and streaming services. And I think now, more than ever, it strikes that nerve because we do so, feels like we repeat. We're stuck in this.
Yeah.
It's an existential crisis movie. Anyway, let's not perseverate on
Right. I just want to lay out some of the things that happened in 1993.
Okay.
To bolster your thesis, there are very few on here that reflect the times powerfully. And because here, it's the time of Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
It's Rodney King.
Okay.
ISIS bombs the World Trade Center.
What?
Yeah, this was the first time.
Oh.
Yeah. And the Branch Davidians in Waco, Texas.
Wow.
And the Croats and the Muslims were going at it in Bosnia.
Yeah.
I don't find anything in there other than my flawed hero, Bill Clinton, to make me remember that.
So here, this movie, second on the list right here, Falling Down.
Yes.
Michael Douglas.
Yes.
As I've only seen it when it came out in theaters, so 25 years ago. He is buzz-cutted, short-sleeve white shirt, black tie.
Finds a baseball bat.
Put upon white-collar worker, right? Yeah. Who snaps, he has a bad day and he snaps.
Yeah.
And now I remember distinctly thinking that movie was going to be really great at the time.
It didn't make it.
And being very disappointed.
I know.
Partially, I think that can be accounted for by the fact that Joel Schumacher directed that movie. Joel Schumacher of the nippled batsuit fame. Joel Schumacher, not a great director, and probably out of his element with that movie. I would like to see it again, though. Yeah. Because of this current moment we're in now, right? Where white middle-aged men are really angry about stuff they have no reason to be angry about.
Wouldn't you think, and wouldn't you think in the 90s, that would be their time to be whipping out that baseball bat?
Yeah.
But it wasn't so. Now, Schumacher, for me, hit a high point in, I think, The Phone Booth with Colin Farrell. That was another kind of angry, white guy caught
Yeah.
Anyway, so Schumacher, he does have a few moments for me. Now, for me, I think you were right. Schindler's just stands out from all of them. And that was Spielberg's great moment. And
His
it always is.
masterpiece.
And I thought Philadelphia Story. Philadelphia, I guess,
Right.
is just called.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington,
Yeah.
Jonathan Demme directed,
Yeah.
coming off of his Oscar for Silence of the Lambs.
yes, yeah.
And I just, Philadelphia has some really stunning, emotionally honest moments. But for me, Philadelphia's also just feels like Oscar bait. Like it feels like Jonathan Demme operating in this like, oh, I'm an Oscar-winning director now vein.
Yeah.
I have to do important things
Yeah.
now. And, the thing that he did in Silence of the Lambs, that device where he has characters look directly into the camera, made a lot of sense thematically in Silence of the Lambs because of the showdown nature of the psychological warfare happening in that. It feels awkward in Philadelphia, and I don't know. I just don't think he was operating at his
Well, I think
best.
besides being Oscar bait, there's some. Yeah, are we talking about drugs or HIV or both together? What are we talking about in that movie? You remember?
Well, one, I think it's a courtroom drama, if you'll recall, and I think Tom Hanks is fired from his job, and he appeals to Denzel Washington to. It's mostly about homophobia. Denzel Washington doesn't want to take the case because he's a homophobe,
Yeah.
and and really the central drama there is as Tom Hanks's character is dying, he becomes a human being in the eyes of Denzel Washington and a friend. And I
Dying
think that's from AIDS.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So I thought this was a film that began to attack that which was becoming a real problem for us nationwide. So it had some.
Yeah, it had some social
It had some social-
awareness value. Yeah,
Now,
no doubt.
amongst these is a little favorite of mine,
Mm.
Indecent Proposal with Robert Redford.
Oh, yeah.
To me more.
Really, I figured that was based on you.
All right, so
Did that ever happen to you?
He's an older.
In your
guy.
travels?
He's an older guy, and he offers $1 million to this. I think Woody Harrelson's the husband.
Yeah.
To this couple, if he can sleep with the wife.
Right, to be more.
Right, and the reason I love this is not so much because it outrageously could be a reflective of me, because of course we know that's just a joke. But
Because you don't have $1 million.
exactly.
But you have other things.
I do. But anyway, the thing I love is there's one scene in there where he
You
talks.
would offer them theater tickets.
Where he actually talks about having seen a woman and had gone back to that same spot many times and never was able to see her again. Directly took it from Citizen Kane.
Okay.
Bernstein's little speech in
Yeah.
his desk about there was a girl with a parasol.
Uh-huh.
And I, in the theater, much to the chagrin of my friends, yelled out, "That's from Citizen Kane!" I actually have no finesse when it comes to something like that. Anyway, that one, it really interested me. I thought you'd say something about Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, I don't like Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire is it's just, I don't know. I avoided that movie for a really long time, and then I watched it with Vincent, my son, a few years ago. Maybe right after Robin Williams had committed suicide. And I thought, maybe it's time for me to give this movie a chance. And I just felt that the handling of the drag element was so over the top and awkward, and I love Tootsie. I think Tootsie is one of the great comedies of all time.
Right. Okay. That's why.
And all of the
okay.
brilliant stuff that arises comedically and dramatically out of that situation resonate in ways that there's zero resonance.
Well,
here
one of the
for
things
Mrs. Doubtfire.
that I thought, and surely Vincent would have picked up on, was the fact that it was so outrageously unreal.
Yeah.
Her disguised as a cleaning, him disguised as a cleaning woman. Just, however you stretch your imagination, it just can't work.
Yeah, I know. It was not satisfying for me.
Well, the other one, the one I think that is beyond Schindler's List, the most iconic, is Sleepless in Seattle. I think for romantics, that's Mecca.
Yeah. That's pretty. I'm not crazy about that one.
Just.
But yeah, no, it definitely has a passionate audience.
Right.
and you know, one of Tom Hanks' signature roles.
Yes, right.
So, yeah, I'm sure. It's just, I don't know where I'm going with this, so cut that part off.
All right, yeah. All right, we gotta.
Yeah, we got to wrap up.
I just want to say.
Yeah.
That I think the story of Bill Clinton's life could eclipse every movie on this list.
You think? Maybe. Or they could just remake it as The Fugitive.